Previously on Gimme Golf. Hello and welcome back to Gimme Golf. You're joining me for the back nine of our Carden Park adventure here on the Cheshire Course. If you followed me for part one, you'll know that I shot 17 over on the front nine, with my putting being the main reason. So my mind is clear. I have a fresh perspective on golf. I spent 30 minutes putting out and sort of learning the speed of the greens, getting myself ready for the back nine. So we're on the par 4 10th and I'm ready to hit driver, hopefully down the middle to get this round going. Little warm-up swing to ease us in, and I'm ready to hit and rip. And it's not a bad start to the back nine. I've hit a fairly big shot there just over the trees on the left, but it should be pretty clear down there, about 240 yards, which leaves me still a shot, to be honest, into the green, but a safe one at that. I'm electing to hit a 50 degree into the green, and I've just managed to block it down the right, but I think I've avoided the bunker, so I've got a shot in, a little one over that bunker, and I managed to get it onto the green. Pretty happy with the chip, but I've left myself a 25-foot putt, just trying to get this one close without smashing it past the hole. Fairly good effort there, not too bad from the distance, and sort of double break in the green. Leaves me a fairly safe putt in. Is this going to be a repeat of the front nine? Let's find out. And would you look at that, it was never in doubt as it trickles into the hole. Really needed a 2-putt there, and I've got away with one. We now find ourselves on the 555 yard par 5 11th. This is a big old hole, and it needed a good strike to get some of that distance covered, which I do with the driver. I'm now coming up to my second shot and noticed that it looked like there could be water down there. There was a little bit of a dip, so just electing to hit 7-iron around 170 yards ideally to avoid putting myself in any danger. And he makes that a little bit short, if I'm honest. I probably could have hit a little bit more, but there was a lot of danger. And now there's a big tree. Knew I wasn't going to get around this. I knew I was going for it one way or another. So I elected to stab 7-iron at it, try and get enough height. Didn't quite make it and did hit a branch, but managed to clear, get myself in the fairway and give myself a shot into the green, so not too upset with that. Leaving myself a little chip on. Chip felt good, contact was good. Managed to put it past the flag, which I've sort of been coming up a little bit short with recently, so wanted to make sure I got it on the dance floor. Gave myself a downhill putt, which is something I really didn't want to see, but felt up for the challenge after the 2-putt. And it's just broken down to the left and picked up a little bit of pace, which for once I'm not going to give myself any blame about. But in the same way, I do need to be burying this putt. We know where the damage comes in my game, so it's important that I get this in and let it trickle. And he doesn't. He forgets about the break, and it comes back to bite him. We move on very quickly from that one and keep up the positive momentum that we've built today. Still feeling very good on this back nine, considering I started with a double bogey on the front nine, and I'm managing to contain that score and keep it low. Not really sure what's happening here. Obviously, I've been hitting his driver pretty well. I thought this was a short par 4, so I elected to hit 6 and try and control it down there. Hit a good 6, but actually the hole was a lot longer than I expected, which wasn't something I anticipated, and was actually a good lesson on course management, because I left myself a couple of big shots here, and that one was massively off course. The flag's actually on the left there in this shot, and I've managed to hit a tree on the right, and luckily I hit the tree, otherwise I'd have ended up out of bounds. But little chip into the green, elected for 60 degree, usually a good club from this range, but came up short. It was pretty thick rough, which means that I've left myself with a putt from off the green. A lovely control there again from the deep stuff, obviously quite thick rough, winter conditions, lots of unknowns on the aerated greens, and I've managed to control it. Also, can we appreciate how cinematic this footage looks for the back nine? Definitely helped getting the glare from the clouds out, and I've this putt to stay on track. Can he get it in? Oh, it has stopped short at the last minute on the uphill putt, and I put it in for a double bogey there. That's a little bit sad and hard to take, but we move on. We are now on a 342-yard par 4 with a pretty tight fairway in between the two trees. All I need to do is make sure I hit straight, and driver is up for it once again. Actually, the smallest of fades, draws coming out for that one, which isn't my usual shot shape, but was very much needed on this hole to stop me ending up in trouble. Leaves me a short shot into the green, trying to decelerate an 8-iron. Has he managed it? Oh, he has. That is nestled nicely on the green, and actually it still managed to go past, so it's a good job we took some simmer off that. And that again is not a bad little putt. Obviously a slight misread, given you can pretty much see that that should have been a lot closer, but we're going to get a few misreads here and there. We're not upset. The key is that we bury the shots and get them in, which again, small miss on the right hand side. On another day it would have dropped, so not going to get too upset, even if you can see I'm mouthing off to the camera a little bit at that point. Obviously got to be more than I was letting on, because that is a terrible drive to begin this hole, but it does get substantial distance to it, little bit of a punch really across the floor, and at this point it's a little bit cold. It's left me with a full 6-iron, and it needs to be a good one. Oh, and that is good. That is a decent amount of distance coming out of that 6-iron. It's about 190 yards, full club, and that has earned me a spot on the dance floor. And on this incredibly short par 5, oh, that was so close to being an eagle at this point. Need to concentrate and not hit the GoPro, because we've still got a chance at a birdie. Look at that, I'm choking up. And the birdie drops. What a change in fortune that is. I actually don't remember if I got a par on the front 9, and already I've got a birdie, and that is a confidence boost and a half coming into this par 3 downhill with a fair amount of danger. I'm feeling this one though, and I'm right to feel it, because I've just placed that ball firmly on the green. Very, very soft, it stuck, didn't roll out. If it had, it probably fell off, but we take those, that's a good advantage. Now we just need a good putt. Oh, and it stopped short, but that was a 2 birdie opportunities in 2 holes, which we're not used to, but the birdie only matters if I can sink the putt. And sink it we do. Well played, and we have really picked up some momentum coming into the back 9. We now have to turn all of our attention to the Stroke Index 1 440-yard par 4 16th. And sadly, it's another bad drive that is going to punish me, because that one didn't have the distance at 180 yards, and I'm now blocked down the left. In the deep stuff, needing a little bit of a miracle, considering my tee shots covered less than 50% of the hole. You have to use an 8 here as well. I'm having to use an 8-iron to sort of try and play it out, because I'm worried about going too right. which was exactly what was going to happen there, and I believe I did clip a branch that stopped it from going straight out of bounds in front of me. Gets a bit of distance, which gives me 1 club in, and it's not badly struck. It's just a little bit to the left, but I was basically aiming there, and it does get me up there. What is missing here is I did manage to top a chip, which is why the score counter goes up, meaning I need to hold this realistically, and that is not a bad effort from there, especially with the duffed one before. So leave myself a short putt to try and get this in and stop the score from spiraling. If I can get this in for a double bogey, I really do think I've got away with one on this hole. I think if this was the front 9, I'd be walking in with a triple or potentially quad. So the fact that I've got a putt for this means I'm quite happy at this stage, being completely honest. And it does drop again for me, which is always going to make a difference, especially as we come to the par 3 17th, which is a downhill 180 yard shot protected by 3 bunkers. But again, I've hit a great 7-iron there. It's made it most of the way, coming up just short of the pin, but again, leaving it in my fade with the putt. And that looks a fast one as it flies past the hole, but does seem to catch a little bit of stopping power. Leaves me, just over a 2-footer. A little bit of a danger putt if you've seen the first video. But again, it's dropping. It is like watching another player out there as we come to the scenic 18th hole to finish. This one deserves a good tee shot. And I feel like I did everything right there apart from swing the club properly, which means I've hit 190 yards, leaving myself a good little chip onto the green. Not the best contact in the deep stuff, and it comes up just short and off the green. At this point, I know I'm on for a good finish, so I'm desperate to try and keep the score intact, electing for chipper again around the green. And that is not the worst chip in the world, even if it does go off to the left. And that means the pressure is very much on with this putt. If I can get it in, I've addressed the putting devils from the front 9, and I put myself in a good position on the card. And I tell you what, was it ever in doubt as that one drops for me, and you can see the celebrations and what that meant at that point to finish on the par with the 1 putt. That is outrageous. Carden, it was a pleasure, really enjoyed the course. 18th was stunning, look forward to coming back in summer. Really enjoyed this video. Obviously it was a tale of 2 9s. Front 9 I was 17 over, and back 9 I ended up just 7 over. If I'd managed to find a little bit of consistency and go somewhere in between, I'd probably be happier. But it's nice to see what my game will be capable of. Sort of hitting that 7 over means that should be repeatable and that should be achievable in the future. So I'm hoping I can work on it and start posting some better cards in summer. But I've been up in the 30s, I've been in the 20s. So I know what to expect, and I just enjoy getting out and playing golf. Looking forward to getting the next video to you, which will be something a little bit different. Thanks for watching, and if you can, do drop me a subscribe. Lots of content coming very soon.